Hello movie lovers, welcome back to the Cinemagic Hub. Today we're sailing down the canals of Venice, not for mystery, not for danger, but for romance. Romance that steals your breath and disappears before you realize it kissed you. We are talking about the 2005 romantic comedy adventure, Casanova. Yes, that Casanova, the legendary lover, the myth wrapped in silk, swagger, and questionable legacy. Now, critics may have folded their arms, raised their eyebrows, and insisted the film was underwhelming, too fluffy and too playful for its own good. But honestly, that's exactly why I love it. Casanova isn't trying to reinvent romance genre. It isn't trying to philosophize about love. It's a cinematic one-night stand, a delightful fling, a charming distraction that sweeps you off your feet, twirls you across a ballroom, and drops you back into your seat with a grin plastered across your face. It has swashbuckling energy, gorgeous Venetian backdrops, masks, misunderstandings, lust disguised as love, love disguised as something else entirely, and a cast having so much fun that the joy spills right through the screen. So let's dive into this merry little romp. A story told a dozen times, yet rarely with this much charm, color, and puckish humor. Let's explore why Casanova might just be the most delightful romance comedy critics shrugged at and audiences should absolutely give another chance. A movie that may not be profound, but is undeniably pleasurable. For a story built on seduction, Casanova wastes no time reminding you why its hero's name became shorthand for irresistible charm. From the moment Heath Ledger appears, he moves through Venice like the city was tailor-made for his footsteps, slipping through balconies, masked balls, and scandalous situations with a grin that says he knows he shouldn't, but he absolutely will. Venice itself plays along. The film treats the city like a playful accomplice, full of narrow alleyways perfect for escaping angry husbands, and gondolas perfectly positioned for dramatic entrances and even more dramatic exits. Casanova uses all of it like a man born in a romance novel and fully aware of his job description. But beneath all the flirting and chaos, there's a delightful twist. Casanova finally meets Francesca Bruni. A woman who, strangely unfamiliar to him, doesn't swoon for him or tremble at his smile. She doesn't even seem remotely impressed by him at all, and it drives him crazy. Crazy for her. And that's just the half of it. She's fiercely intelligent and bold. Their first encounter sparks the kind of chemistry that doesn't rely on love at first sight, but rather the stubborn refusal of two people who know they've finally met an equal. It's the kind of romantic tension that makes you lean forward, waiting for sparks, insults, confessions, anything. And while Casanova scrambles to win her over, he also manages to tangle himself in a hilarious web of disguises, lies, mistaken identities, arranged engagements, duels, and one very wealthy, very round suitor who believes Francesca is destined to become his Venetian bride. The film dances between romance and comedy with such breezy style that even when the plot twists pile up like dominoes ready to fall, the tone stays light, spirited, almost musical. It's not trying to save the world or deliver Shakespearean tragedy, it's delivering enjoyment. Pure, earnest, unapologetic enjoyment. And truthfully, that's where the film's magic lies. It doesn't pretend to be more than it is. It doesn't strain for depth it doesn't need. It knows the joy of watching a man famous for love struggling to understand what real love actually feels like. It knows the thrill of watching Francesca challenge him, mock him, outsmart him, and force him to grow up just a little. The movie sets up its central romance with playfulness and energy. But most importantly, with heart. And for all its disguises and mistaken identities, that's the one thing this story never hides. Its genuine desire to make you smile. Heath Ledger as Casanova? Pure charm in motion. He's handsome, playful, and somehow makes heartbreak look like an art form. You don't just believe everyone falls for him, you kind of want to. Sienna Miller's Francesca isn't just eye candy, she's smart, witty, and refuses to play by the rules, which makes their back and forth sparkle. Oliver Platt is a scene stealer every time he pops up, turning his character into this over-the-top, laugh-out-loud ball of ego and drama. Jeremy Irons adds a sly grin to every line, and together, the supporting cast keeps the movie bouncing along like a perfectly choreographed carnival ride. And Hallström's direction ties it all together like a perfectly tied bow. He doesn't overthink it. He lets the romance, comedy, and mischief take the wheel. The film zips along, keeping things light and entertaining, like a wink from the screen saying, just enjoy the ride. Though I enjoyed the movie, I wouldn't completely brush off some of the criticisms. Casanova isn't flawless, the plot can feel a little too light, the stakes often evaporate the moment they appear, and sometimes the movie is so busy being adorable, it forgets to be anything else. If you're looking for deep emotional resonance, historical accuracy, or a grand reinvention of the legendary lover, this ain't that movie. But it was never trying to be that. This isn't meant to be a serious adaptation of the womanizing legend. It's a fun spin, a glossy, playful reimagining that winks more than it seduces. It knows exactly what it is, a breezy, romantic romp through Venice with beautiful people doing ridiculous things in beautiful costumes. Sometimes you don't need a film to rewrite cinematic history. Sometimes you just want to grin for 2 hours, vibe with Heath Ledger's mischievous energy, and let the film sweep you away like a gondola ride you didn't have to pay for. Then swing by the comments and spill your thoughts. Like, subscribe, and stick around. We've got plenty more cinematic adventures lined up.